Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you about two functions which are particularly important in editing audio for video. If you're editing an audio track that goes with a video, you have to make sure that you don't change the synchronization. In other words, all edits you do have to be sample accurate. So there's two critical functions in Cohler Classical that provide this capability very easily. So here we have an example. I've marked these sections already. Let's say I wanted to replace this section in the destination track, just those couple of beats, with this section over here in the source track. This is take 12. Up here I've got take 13. But the problem is that although it sounds almost the same, it's not exactly the same length. In fact, if I look at the length here, this is 142,187 samples in the source track, and in the destination track, the same passage is 140,000 samples, 227. So it's off by about 2,000 samples. In other words, the destination is shorter. So if I were to simply do a cut and paste, it would change the length of the edited audio, which for plain old audio editing wouldn't matter a whole lot. But when you're synchronizing with video, it'll throw everything downstream from that out of synchronization. So the solution is very simple. There's a command in the edit menu. Instead of a normal source destination edit, you do source destination edit crossfade and rate change, and it automatically sets the rate so that the number of samples stays exactly the same in the destination track. So let's look again to see what that is, and I'll show you. So in the destination, you can see we have 140,227 samples. That's the length of that selection in your lower right screen there. 140,227. So I'm now going to do the edit with rate change. So we'll do source destination edit crossfade and rate change. Go. Okay, there the edit's done. Take 12 is in there. You notice nothing moved. But it automatically set the rate of that segment at 1.4% faster so that it's exactly the same length. If I now look at the length of that segment from in point to out point, it's exactly the same, 140,227 samples to the sample. So it means nothing shifted even by one sample, even by a fraction of a sample in the entire edit. So that will maintain perfect synchronization with your video. Now you can still go in there and edit the crossfades if you want to. You can go into a crossfade, you can slide it back and forth in position, you can change its length, you can change its shape. The only thing you can't do when you're doing editing for video is you can't slide the two sides of the fade, because that will change the synchronization. But the fade itself can be moved back and forth, changed in shape, size, length, decoupled, asymmetric, whatever you want, as long as you don't slide the two sides, because then we maintain sample accurate alignment. Okay, so that's the first method. The second method is you can also do a sample accurate edit without a rate change. This is usually you'll do on a small segment, 1 or 2 or 3 second passage. A longer passage, it would be harder to do that kind of thing because it'll go out of synchronization from take to take. But let's take a look over here, for example. Or let's see, how about this passage? So let's try that. From there up to there. Just a couple of seconds of time. So, and we want to replace that with something identical. So let's try. And hopefully we have a take that's very close. All right, so now if we look at that, let's see. Yeah, those are pretty close. So now let's look exactly. So the length of the section here in the source is 134,436 samples. In the destination, it's 129, so it's off by a couple thousand samples. Now, a couple thousand samples at 88,200 samples per second is not a lot, but it's something. Let's try this method by doing the following. We can eliminate the out point in the source, first of all. So I'll get rid of the out point in the source, which is track 2. Delete the out point. And now I use a command in the markers menu, which is under in-out, equal length source destination. That command will set a fourth point, whether it's the in or the out in the source or the destination, so that it's exactly equal length. So in this case, since I have 3 points set, this will set the fourth, the out point of the source. So I'll do that command. Okay, now it's put that out point where it's exactly equal. You can see that now. The length of that is now 129,026. And in the destination, it's also 129,026. So now they're exactly the same length. The question is whether or not that edit will work. So we need to listen to the passage in the source and listen to the destination. And that sounds already like it's going to work. They're very, very similar. So let's try. Let's listen one more time. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So now we just do a normal source destination edit, but we've set the points so that they're sample accurate already. So there's the edit. And again, the length in the destination is 129,026. So we haven't changed anything in terms of sample alignment. And now we can listen to the passage. Oops, get rid of the selection. So it worked perfectly. So that's another way of doing it. If you can find a passage that is close enough, you can just set 3 of the points, and then it will automatically set the fourth. So I'll show you that it works with any one of the 4 points. So if I delete, for example, the in point in the destination group, and then I go to markers, in out equal length, that sets the in point so that it's exactly equal in length to the source. If I delete the out point and I execute this command, set marker in out equal length, it sets the out point. If I delete the in point in the source group, execute the command, it makes it equal length. And if I delete the out point in the source group, makes it equal length. And in each case, you can verify that it's equal length by setting your timeline here to samples, and then this selection indicator will tell you the actual exact number of samples in the selection. So if I select between the in-out, I just use Shift-T, which is set the time selection to the in-out point. So that shows you we're 129,026 samples in the source and 129,026 samples in the destination. So there you have it. Those 2 functions, the markers in-out equal length source destination for setting sample accurate lengths of edits. And if you can't get it quite to be exactly the right length, you can use source destination edit crossfade and rate change, which will automatically change the rate of the source material so that the destination is sample accurate exactly the same. Everything in Cohler Classical is just 1 click away.